Hi everyone, my name is Brenna Weiss, and today I'll be discussing a controversial topic, the use of physical castration as punishment for convicted rapists. This issue has gained renewed attention because Louisiana recently became the first U.S. state to authorize surgical castration for certain sex crimes against minors. The debate raises difficult questions about deterrence, justice, ethics, and human rights. In this presentation, I'll explore both sides of the argument and consider whether this measurement is effective or problematic. Supporters of surgical castration argue that it serves as a powerful deterrent. The logic is straightforward. By removing the biological capacity for sexual assault, the likelihood of reoffending is reduced. Advocates believe this measure protects vulnerable populations, especially children, and provides justice for victims. They also argue that traditional prison sentences often fail to prevent repeat offenses, whereas castration directly addresses the physical drive behind certain crimes. From this perspective, the punishment is seen as both preventative and proportionate to the harm caused. On the other hand, critics emphasize serious ethical concerns. Physical castration is irreversible and raises questions about bodily autonomy. Many argue that it violates human rights by inflicting permanent harm, regardless of rehabilitation potential. There is also concern that focusing on biology oversimplifies sexual violence, which often stems from power, control, and psychological factors rather than purely physical urges. Furthermore, critics worry that such measures could set a dangerous precedent where extreme punishments are justified in the name of deterrence, eroding fundamental protections against cruel and unusual punishment. Looking at broader examples, some countries have experimented with chemical castration, which is reversible and less invasive. These programs have shown mixed results, with questions about effectiveness and consent. In the U.S., the Louisiana law highlights how punishment can reflect cultural and political pressures, especially in cases involving crimes against minors. At the same time, corporate crimes or systematic injustices often receive far lighter penalties, raising questions about consistency in how laws are enforced. This contrast illustrates how power and inequality shape criminal justice responses. For criminologists, the debate over surgical castration offers important insights. It forces us to ask, should punishment focus on deterrence, retribution, or rehabilitation? If the goal is to reduce crime, strategies that address root causes such as education, mental health treatment, and social support may be more effective than irreversible physical measures. Criminologists can use this debate to advocate for laws that balance public safety with ethical standards, ensuring that justice does not come at the expense of human rights. Ultimately, the challenge is to design policies that protect communities while respecting individual dignity. In conclusion, surgical castration as punishment for rapists is a deeply divisive issue. Supporters see it as a deterrent and a just response to horrific crimes, while critics view it as a violation of ethics and human rights. Louisiana's legislation has intensified this debate, reminding us that criminal justice is not only about punishment, but also about values, fairness, and humanity. That is all. Thank you so much for listening.